Classic Mastermind with the first semi-final of 2007-8, next here on BBC Two, hosted by John Humphreys. And we've an afternoon of classics here on BBC Two. Germs aplenty at Grace Brothers in Are You Being Served at 3:15. Renee is on the run and in disguise in Allo Allo at 3:45. Then Can Cagney and Lacey save a woman's life from ruin at 4:15.
This is Malcolm, who owns Iceland. He's the one that's going to present us with the 10 grand when we win it.
You've just got to make it as bearable or as pleasurable as possible.
Well, here we are in the PR Nerve Centre of Iceland at the end of 96 hours of total hell.
Did we test for horse? No. But we haven't tested for dog or cat either.
Is this the warmest supermarket around? Iceland Foods, Life in the Freezer Cabinet, continues Monday at 9 on BBC Two and BBC Two HD.
Cash in the Attic wanted to raise enough for a world trip at 1:30 here on BBC Two after Classic Mastermind.
In the spotlight tonight is Jane Ann Liston from St Andrews, a constituency caseworker, and her subject is British butterflies. William Barrett from London, an IT developer, and his subject is the life and works of Franz Kafka. Derek Moody from Warrington, a production manager, his subject, The Edge of Darkness television series. And Alan Frith from Edinburgh, a law student. His subject, Red Clydeside from 1914 to 1939. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. You join us at the semi-final stage of television's most testing quiz. Each of our 4 contenders have already sat in the black chair and emerged triumphant. Tonight, they have to do it all over again, but this time a place in the final is at stake. The rules remain the same: 2 minutes of questions on their chosen subject and 2 minutes on general knowledge. So let's get on with it and ask our first contender to join us, please. And your name is?
Jane Ann Liston.
Your occupation?
Constituency caseworker.
And your specialist subject?
British butterflies.
British butterflies in 2 minutes. Britain's largest native species of butterfly is the swallowtail. Its habitat is restricted to which area of wetland?
The Fenlands.
Norfolk Broads. The painted lady is one of 2 members of the genus Vanessa that are regular migrants to Britain. What's the other?
Red Admiral.
Correct. Which butterfly is restricted to the south coast of Dorset, takes its name from the village where it was found in 1832?
Lulworth. Skipper.
Yes. The northern England subspecies of the mountain, or northern brown argus, has a dark brown or black spot on its upper forewing. What's the usual colour of this spot on the Scottish subspecies?
White.
Yes. Which species resembles a tattered tortoiseshell butterfly because of the irregular outer edges of its wings?
Comma.
Yes. Which spectacular butterfly supplements its principal diet of honeydew from aphids with nutrients obtained from animal dung and rotting carcasses?
The Purple Emperor.
Correct. The British subspecies of the swallowtail butterfly lays its eggs on which tall flowering plant?
Milk parsley.
Correct. Which butterfly, whose appearance is very similar to the small skipper, was only recognised as a separate species in 1889?
The Essex skipper.
Yes. What's the name of Britain's only true mountain species? It's confined to the higher slopes of the Lake District and the Scottish Highlands.
The Mountain Argus.
Mountain ringlet. The nectar from the flowers of which bush is a particularly favourite food of the adult white admiral?
Honeysuckle.
Bramble. The male of which butterfly is often mistaken for a common blue, while the female is often mistaken for a chalk-hill blue?
The Brown Argus.
The Adonis blue. What's the common name of the only member of the genus Inachus? It has evolved distinctive markings on its wings to confuse predators.
The peacock.
Yes. Which butterfly is found in southern England, the Southern Lake District and North Yorkshire, and is the only European representative of the tropical family Rheodinidae?
The Duke of Burgundy.
Yes. Which plant is the most widely available and commonly eaten food for the larvae of butterflies such as the red admiral, the peacock and the comma?
The nettle.
Yes. The subspecies of which dull-coloured butterfly is found on Great Orm's Head in North Wales?
The large heath.
The grayling. Which of the skippers became extinct in England in 1976, although it's still found in Scotland and the area around Fort William?
The checkered skipper.
Yes, the holly blue is unique among British butterflies because the larvae of its two broods feed on different plants. Those of the spring brood feed on holly. What do the summer brood?
Ivy.
Finish the question. Principally feed on?
Ivy.
Ivy is correct. You had no passes. 12 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
William Barrett,
Your occupation?
IT developer.
And your chosen subject?
The life and works of Franz Kafka.
2 minutes on Franz Kafka, starting now. In November 1919, to whom did Kafka type a 45-page letter which he then corrected by hand but never sent?
His father.
Yes. According to Kafka's narrator, the Great Wall of China offered protection against which people?
Barbarians.
People of the North. The officer from In the Penal Colony programs the remarkable execution machine to write which two words on his own body?
Be just.
Yes. What subject did Kafka study for his first 2 weeks at the German Charles Ferdinand University of Prague in November 1901?
Chemistry.
Correct. In Metamorphosis, the father bombards Gregor Samsa with what fruit in order to force him back into the bedroom?
Apples.
Yes. In The Castle, what is the name of the official whose signature is illegible to Kay until Barnabas the Messenger explains it to him?
Clam.
Yes. Who was the Polish-born leader of the Yiddish musical drama company that Kafka saw at the Café Savoy in Prague in 1911?
Yitzhak Louis.
Correct. In a report to an academy, the ape says that he chose which career when he arrived in Hamburg in preference to living in a zoological garden?
As a human.
Music hall. What is the name of the painter who explains the working of the court to Joseph Kay in the trial?
Titorelli. Correct.
In which Italian spa town did Kafka write intimately to Milena Jesenska-Polakova for the first time in 1920?
Riva.
Merano, whose death has left the narrator with a problem in the opening pages of A Country Doctor?
Pass.
How is Georg Benderman condemned to die by his father in the judgment?
By drowning.
Yes. What instruction did Kafka give to Max Brod in October 1922 concerning the disposal of the majority of his writings?
Burn everything.
Yes. In The Castle, what is the name of the chambermaid who succeeds Frida as the barmaid at the inn when Frida leaves her position to live with Kay?
Peppy.
Yes. What type of young animal replaced the deceased hunger artist in his cage at the circus?
Panther.
Yes. In which town that has become part of Klosterneuburg is the Sanatorium Hoffmann, where Kafka died? It now contains a museum to his memory.
Marienbad.
Keerling. Carl Rossman is offered a job as a lift boy in which hotel in America?
Occidental.
Correct. Which unfinished story concerns Edward Raban's journey that begins on a rainy day?
Wedding preparations in the country.
Yes. Whom did Kafka describe as having a bony, empty face, I've started, so I shall finish, that openly displayed its emptiness when he first met her in 1912?
Felice Bauer.
Felice Bauer, yes. You have one pass, William Barrett, and that is the horse was the thing whose death left the narrator with a problem. That one pass, William Barrett, 14 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Derek Moody.
Your occupation?
Production manager.
And your chosen subject?
Edge of Darkness television series.
The Edge of Darkness in 2 minutes, starting now. What is the full name of the police inspector played by Bob Peck, whose investigation into his daughter Emma's murder is central to the plot of the series?
Robert Craven.
Ronald Craven. Who co-wrote the series' BAFTA award-winning music with Eric Clapton?
Michael Kamen.
Correct. What gives off the highest reading on the Geiger counter when Craven is checking the things in Emma's room after her death?
The Her.
Yes, a lock of her hair. Emma's boyfriend, Terry Shields, is the Assistant Secretary of which political grouping?
Socialist Advance.
Correct. Which Kansas-based company is seeking to take over International Irradiated Fuels, whose assets include Northmore?
The Fusion Corporation of Kansas.
Yes, the fingerprints of which known criminal who supposedly jumps through a sixth-floor window rather than face arrest are found on the getaway car used by Emma's killer?
Low.
Yes, after returning from duty in El Salvador, the CIA agent Darius Jedber watches a tape of which television programme?
Come Dancing.
Yes, when Craven first travels to London after his daughter's murder, which character who's attached to the Prime Minister's office arranges to meet him in the hotel car park?
Pendleton.
Yes. Emma belonged to which environmental pressure group whose members penetrated Northmoor to try and expose its nuclear secrets?
Gaia.
Yes. Jedburgh discovers the body of Terry Shields, who's died in what suspicious manner shortly after he's told Craven about the suspected hot cell at Northmoor?
Electrocuted in a bath.
Correct. A vision of his daughter prompts Craven to look up which recipe in the family cookbook, where he finds a list of what appear to be London tube stations.
Ratatouille.
Correct. Which Labour politician appears as himself in the first episode when he addresses a meeting of student activists chaired by Emma?
Michael Meacher.
Correct. What colour are the flowers which are seen growing on the mountains at the end of the series, just as Emma prophesied?
Black.
Yes, during their break-in at Northmoor, Jedburgh and Craven enjoy a sumptuous meal in a lavishly provisioned nuclear bomb shelter that dates from which year, according to the plaque on the wall?
1962.
Yes, which Willie Nelson song is played in Emma's bedroom shortly after her death and is later sung by Craven and Jedburgh in a London restaurant and then in Scotland?
Time of the Preacher.
Correct. After staging a break-in and gaining illegal access to the MI5 computer system, Craven meets his minder Clemmy in which London building where he successfully evades the police?
The Barbican.
Yes, when Bennett, the managing director of International, I'll finish the question, of International Irradiated Fuels, is giving evidence to the Commons Energy Committee, he says the Gaia incident at Northmoor was not reported to the authorities because the plutonium actually belonged to which body?
The Ministry of Defence.
The Ministry of Defence is correct. You've no passes. Derek Moody, you have 16 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Alan Frith.
Your occupation?
I'm a law student.
And your chosen subject?
Red Clydeside, 1914 to 1939.
Red Clydeside in 2 minutes, starting now. What name was given to the 1915 government policy of allowing unskilled workers to work in skilled trades, which led to industrial unrest on Clydeside?
Dilution.
Yes. Which seat did Neil Maclean win to become the only Red Clydesider elected to Parliament in 1918?
Govan.
Correct. In 1920, which former chairman of the Clyde Workers' Committee met Lenin, who converted him to the idea of fomenting revolution by infiltrating Parliament?
Gallagher.
Yes. In November 1922, J.T. Walter Newbold was elected as a Communist MP for which constituency?
Motherwell.
Yes. Whose half-brothers, George and David, were both MPs in Glasgow during the 20s and 30s?
Keir Hardie.
Correct. What was the name of the Glasgow Socialist Weekly that was co-founded and edited for many years by Tom Johnston?
Forward.
Yes. Which MP and trade unionist persuaded Cunard to have the Queen Mary built on the Clyde?
Kirkwood.
Yes. What was the title of the article in The Worker that led to the arrest of John Muir and Willie Gallagher in February 1916?
Should the Workers' Arm.
Yes. Which Red Clydesider was described by Churchill as the greatest parliamentarian of his day and was the subject of a biography by Gordon Brown?
Maxton.
Yes. On the 31st of January 1919, striking workers gathered in which Glasgow Square to hear the government's reply to their demands for a shorter working week. The resulting disturbances became known as Bloody Friday.
George Square.
Yes. Which joint founder of the Women's Peace Crusade in 1916 became Glasgow's first female Labour City Councillor in 1920?
Ellen Crawford.
Mary Barber. Which psalm was sung at a dedication service before the newly elected group of Red Clydeside MPs departed for London in November 1922?
124.
Psalm 124, yes. Which Act of August 1924 was drafted by John Wheatley and is generally regarded as the most significant achievement of the first Labour government?
The Housing Act.
Yes. Which associate of John Maclean was the Scottish organiser of the National Unemployed Workers' Movement and one of the leaders of the Great Hunger March of 1934?
McCulloch.
Harry McShane. Which Gorbals-born suffragette edited a page for women in the Communist Party's official newspaper in 1922?
That's Helen Crawford.
Yes. The TTU was a propaganda team formed by John Maclean to campaign for a minimum wage, a 6-hour working day and full wages for the unemployed. What did TTU stand for? To speed you up because you're out of time. Take a guess.
TTU.
I'll have to tell you. Tramp Trust Unlimited.
Yeah.
That was the only pass, if that's what it was, you had. You've scored, Alan Frith, 13 points. So that's the end of the first round, the specialist subjects. Let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place with 12 points, Jane Ann Liston. Third place with 13 points, Alan Frith. Second place, 14 points. William Barrett in the lead just with 16 points, Derek Moody. So the general knowledge round now, and if there's a tie at the end of the round, and it's pretty close at the moment, then the number of passes get taken into account, and the person with the fewest passes is the winner. If there's still a tie, then there is a 5-question playoff. Not a good idea to pass, perhaps, then. So, on with the general knowledge round, and let's have Jane Ann Liston again, please. Now, British butterflies, 58 species?
Something like that.
Thereabouts?
Yes, every so often they find that one species is actually two, or another one becomes extinct.
Right.
So it varies a little bit.
And what about global warming? Because that appears to affect just about everything. Are we seeing more or fewer species because of that?
There's one species which is perhaps threatened by it, and that's the mountain ringlet, because as it lives in a mountainous moorland, if it starts getting warmer, then it's going to have to start going further up. You can only go so high in the British Isles, of course.
Right.
But other ones do appear to be spreading north. Orange-tip butterflies, for example, used to be mainly found in England. They're now in Scotland, and they seem to be being regularly seen there. Speckled wood butterflies, another one that's moved north as well.
Now, you have 12 points with your knowledge of butterflies. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which Latin phrase, literally meaning bounteous mother, is used to describe a person's former school or college?
Alma mater.
Yes, in which novel does the gypsy waif Heathcliff fall in love with Catherine Earnshaw?
Wuthering Heights.
Yes, which is the only planet of the solar system known to have just 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos?
Mars.
Yes, Gilbert and Sullivan's last collaboration was an operetta set in the fictional Duchy of Pfennig, Harp Pfennig. What was it called?
The Grand Duke.
Yes, which Asian language has an alphabet of 74 letters, more than any other language?
Mandarin.
Cambodia. Who began writing his first novel Saturday Night and Sunday Morning about a factory worker in Nottingham while living in Spain in the mid-50s?
Pass.
Which Welsh-born buccaneer left the sea in 1674 to become Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica?
Kidd.
Henry Morgan. What word for intrusive freelance photographers comes from the surname of the photo reporter played by Walter Santesso in the film La Dolce Vita?
Paparazzi.
Yes. Which river of western Germany flows to the industrial cities of Essen and Mulheim before joining the Rhine at Duisburg?
Oder.
The Ruhr. What name is given to a loaf made from 2 rounds of dough, a smaller one placed on top of a larger one?
A cottage loaf.
Yes. Which film actress was portrayed as a cruel, manipulative mother in her adopted daughter's biography, Mommy Dearest?
Joan Crawford.
Yes. Esox lucius is the scientific name of which voracious freshwater fish?
Pike.
Yes. The Prince of Wales' first 3 Christian names are Charles, Philip, Arthur. What's the 4th?
Mountbatten.
George. In geology, what term is used for a gently sloping area of seabed around a large landmass where the sea is relatively shallow compared to the open ocean?
Continental shelf.
Correct. In his book Towards a New Architecture, what did the architect Le Corbusier describe as a machine for living in?
Pass.
Which sport is sometimes known as the roaring game because of the sound made by the stone crossing the rink?
Curling.
Yes. What is the common name of the facial bone known as the zygomatic or malar bone?
Jawbone.
Cheekbone. The Curzon line, named after the British Foreign Secretary, was proposed in 1920 as the boundary between Poland and which neighbouring country?
East Germany.
Russia. What was the alter ego of Diana Prince, played by Linda Carter in the 1970s television programme?
Wonder Woman.
Yes, which uninhabited rock lying in the North Atlantic about 220 miles west of the Outer Hebrides was annexed by Britain in 1955?
Rockall.
Rockall is correct. You had 2 passes. A machine for living in is a house. And Alan Silito wrote Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. However, Jane Ann Liston, a total of 24 points. And now, Alan Frith, please. And 13 points you got with Red Clydeside. Now, what happened in George Square was quite extraordinary, wasn't it?
You had an overexcitable police chief, really, that the tanks were an overreaction. I don't think the tanks were actually deployed, but they certainly moved into Glasgow.
Yes.
And the accounts of what happened, I mean, do blame the police for being more aggressive than was necessary. That you had a meeting going on inside the city chambers and a crowd outside, and the trams were still running, so the police tried to clear people to get the trams through, and people weren't to be moved, and so they read the Riot Act and charged.
And English soldiers were used because they didn't want to trust the Scots not to join up with the rebellious crowd.
The likelihood of a workers' and soldiers' council taking over was minimal, but that was the view of government.
They were rattled.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Well, you scored 13 points with your knowledge of them. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. In Greek mythology, who opened a box and released all the ills of human life with only hope remaining within?
Pandora.
Yes. Which bridge over the River Thames was opened on the 18th of June, 1817, 2 years after the event it's named after took place?
Waterloo.
Yes. The scientific name for the Northern Lights is the Aurora Borealis. What is the scientific name for the Southern Lights?
Australis.
Yes. What is the nationality of the Formula One racing drivers Mika Häkkinen and Kimi Räikkönen?
Finnish.
Yes. Which number did the European Union establish as the standard emergency telephone number in July 1991?
911.
112. The name of which Native American chief was used as a battle cry by paratroopers leaping from their aircraft in the Second World War?
Pass.
Geoffrey Rush won a Best Actor Oscar for playing the gifted but troubled pianist David Heathcote in which 1996 film?
Pass.
Which river in southeastern Africa is referred to in Kipling's story The Elephant's Child?
Limpopo.
Yes. Which Victorian Prime Minister said he was on the side of the angels in reply to his rhetorical question, is man an ape or an angel?
Gladstone.
Disraeli. In the television series 6 Feet Under, what type of business is run by Fisher and Sons?
Undertakers.
Yes. In Shakespeare's tragedy Hamlet, what is the name of Hamlet's uncle?
Claudius.
Yes. Which small flowerless green plants that typically grow in low carpets in damp habitats have a name that comes from the Old English for a bog?
Pass.
Which Canadian city has a driverless rapid transport system known as the SkyTrain, built initially for the Expo 86 World Fair?
Tokyo.
Vancouver. In the world of popular music, what surname links Jim, Vic and Martha, all of whom have had top 10 singles in the UK charts?
Pass.
Which king abdicated the throne of Egypt in July 1952 following a coup d'etat?
Farouk.
Yes. What is the common term for the visual defect that is the subject of the Ishihara test?
Colourblindness.
Correct. Which type of tea named after a British statesman is flavoured with oil of bergamot?
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey is correct. You had 4 passes in total. Reeves is the surname that links Jim, Vic, Martha, and so on. Shine was the name of the film in which Geoffrey Rush played. You'll be cross with yourself for this one. They shouted the name of the... Geronimo, you've anticipated me. And the name of the little green plants, moss. 4 passes. Alan Frith, 23 points. And William Barrett now, please. Franz Kafka gave his name to the word Kafkaesque. What do you understand by that?
I see it as maybe an individual floating helplessly in a sea of bureaucracy.
You didn't read Kafka for a laugh, did you?
Well, at school, when you do English literature, they always say all stories must have a beginning, a middle and an end. Well, Kafka always dispensed with the beginning. A man wakes up, he is an insect. What happens?
No,
not how did he become one. A man wakes up, he's arrested. Not why was he arrested. Often there's no end to the novels either because he abandoned them.
So why, of all the people who've written about that sort of theme, why has his name gone down into history?
I think it's just the clarity of his writing. The things he's describing are fantastical, but the way he describes them are very matter-of-fact.
Right, so you'd have him down as a great writer even though he broke all the rules?
He did break all the rules. His letters and his diaries are fantastic as well, particularly this novel to his father that he never sent where he outlined every wrong that had ever been done to him in his life.
Poor chap. I mean, either that or he felt terribly sorry for himself.
There was a lot of that. He was neurotic, he was a hypochondriac, very insecure. He just tortured himself, really, throughout his life. Probably lucky that he died young, really.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Right, 14 points you have. 24 at the moment is the score to beat. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes. What name is generally used in Britain for a drink of fresh orange juice mixed with champagne?
Bucks Fizz.
Yes, in 1980 and 84, which British male athlete won an Olympic gold medal for the 1500 metres?
Sebastian Coe.
Correct. Which Spanish dance was popularised by Ravel's ballet of the same title, composed in 1928?
Bolero.
Yes, most modern computers come with USB ports to connect to devices such as printers and keyboards. What do these initials stand for?
Universal Serial Bus.
Yes. In which 1980 film do John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd play musicians who are on a mission from God?
The Blues Brothers.
Yes. Which port and coastal resort in Suffolk is the most easterly town in Britain?
Lowestoft.
Yes. Who was the last Conservative Chancellor of the Exchequer before the party's defeat in the 1997 general election, was later a contender for the party leadership?
Michael Portillo.
Kenneth Clark. Which garden plant gets its name from the Greek for like a nose because its flowers resemble an animal's snout?
Nasturtium.
Antirrhinum. In crime fiction, which wily villain's plans were repeatedly foiled by the British detective Dennis Nayland Smith?
Fu Manchu.
Yes. Who presented Animal Magic on television for 21 years from 1962 until 1983?
Johnny Morris.
Correct. Which German physician discovered the bacteria responsible for cholera and tuberculosis and won the 1905 Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine?
Lister.
No, Koch. Which West Indian island group was split between Britain and Denmark until 1917 when Denmark sold its part to America?
The Antilles.
The Virgin Islands. To what was Tennyson referring when he wrote, "For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever"?
Pass.
Hematite is the principal ore of which metal?
Iron.
Correct. On first entering the House of Commons, newly elected MPs are assigned a coat hanger with a piece of pink ribbon attached. What's the traditional purpose of the ribbon?
To tie their hat.
To hang up their swords. The spotted is the largest of 3 species of which scavenging animal native to Africa and Asia?
Hyena.
Yes. What is the name of the V-shaped stripe on the sleeve of a uniform indicating rank?
Chevron.
Yes. Whose birthday is marked in Japan on the 8th of April, the celebration sharing its popular name with the Shinto flower festival Hanamatsuri?
The Emperor.
No, Buddha. 1 pass. For men may come and men may go, etc. The Brook. 1 pass, as I say, 25 points. And finally, Derek Moody, please. The Edge of Darkness. Now, that was a big success, wasn't it? And it was so popular that within, what, 10 days of it finishing, they ran it again?
Yes, within 10 days it was repeated again and it doubled its viewing figures.
Yeah.
And then a month later it was repeated on BBC One. After that, the viewing figures increased yet again. So I think it's about... Normally, on repeats, viewing figures obviously go down, but this was not the case. It was a series that probably, at the time, gripped the mood of the nation.
What was it? I mean, what was it about the series that was so...
It started off very much as like a police procedural thriller. Then it moved into the murky world of political espionage and the nuclear state, and then morphed into an ecological thriller.
Sounds a bit complex, it must be said.
It is extremely complex. I mean, of all the characters that are in it, there's only really Craven, you can really say, has a defined purpose at the beginning. All the others sort of dance on the edges and you're never quite sure exactly what motives they actually have. And it's basically, who do you trust? And there's very few people you can find you can trust.
Right. You have 16 points and 25 is the score to beat. Here we go with your general knowledge. Which city in the state of Tennessee has been dubbed Music City?
Memphis.
Nashville. Who's taken the most wickets for England in a Test career stretching from 1977 to 1992?
Bolton.
Yes. Which medical condition where the blood's ability to clot is reduced is often caused by hereditary lack of the coagulation factor 8?
Haemophilia.
Yes. About which relatives does Bertie Wooster say to geez, they're all alike, sooner or later out pops the cloven hoof?
Ants.
Yes, the hospital drama ER was developed from an unused film script by which popular author who'd been a junior doctor himself?
Grisham.
Mike Crichton. What's the name of the shrine that was built between 685 and 691 AD on the place where Muslims believe Muhammad ascended to heaven?
Kabbalah.
Dome of the Rock. The male of which fish gives birth to its young by expelling them from a single hole in its pouch?
Stickleback.
Seahorse. Which Renaissance artist who was born in Urbino in 1483 was greatly influenced by both Leonardo and Michelangelo following a visit to Florence?
Botticelli.
Raphael. What was the family name of the newspaper magnate brothers Viscounts Northcliffe and Rothermere?
Beaverbrook.
Harmsworth. The seaside resorts of Mablethorpe and Skegness are in which East Coast county?
Lincolnshire.
Yes. Who teamed up with Andrea Bocelli for the 1997 UK hit Time to Say Goodbye?
Brightman.
Yes. What word is used for the attribution of human characteristics to any non-human object, especially animals?
And anthropomorphics.
Yes, anthropomorphism. Which Confederate general died after being accidentally shot by his own men at Chancellorsville in 1863?
Jackson.
Yes, what name is given to the lilac-coloured French curacao flavoured with rose petals, vanilla pods and almonds?
Kummel.
Parfait d'amour. In the film starring Mia Farrow, who's the real father of Rosemary's Baby?
The devil.
Yes, the whistling language Silbo, acquired from the extinct Guanches people of the Canaries, is still used on which island to communicate from hilltop to hilltop? La Gomera. Which duo first entered the UK album charts in 1966 with Sounds of Silence?
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yes. What is the name of the site in Cheshire where a radio telescope, once the largest in the world, was built in the 1950s?
Jodrell Bank.
Is correct. You had no passes. Derek Moody, you have 26 points. Well, what a close one. That's the end of the contest, so let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 23 points, Alan Frith. In 3rd place with 24 points, Jane Ann Liston. 2nd place with 25 points, William Barrett. In 1st place, 26 points, Derek Moody. And so, Derek Moody obviously is the winner. He claims a place in the grand final. Congratulations to him. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Next here on BBC Two, going through the house to raise enough money for a world trip in Cash in the Attic. At 2:15, will it be just desserts? One chef is going home in Great British Menu. After which, at 2:45, Floyd cooks up a meal fit for Roman Britain. A little sauce helps.